Week 6 in the NFL here at SBR Forum Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We're talking right now with Troy West from allplayswin.com. I'm sure you're all very familiar with him by now. Troy, thanks for being back with us this week.
Hey, thanks a lot, Pete. It wasn't our strongest effort in the NFL last week, but, we broke dang near even. And one thing I know that the viewers don't get to see is we don't necessarily put a unit value on these plays, where if you come to allplayswin.com, we're very big on our money management and our unit system. So I encourage viewers to at least pop me a message and ask in case they're curious, because there's often times where we may go 1-2 or even 1-3, but we broke even on the money side. So just something to keep in perspective, but we're going to keep trucking along and hoping for another big weekend at All Plays Win, Pete.
But didn't you have a winning day every day last week or something? I saw you post that online.
We had 8 straight winning days until yesterday. Yesterday we were down 7 units, which for us is not a whole lot. We were up over 30 units on Saturday, so a fantastic week. And at one point, we did have 8 straight winning days until yesterday, Pete.
Wow, you know what? I'm gonna have to buy myself a freaking membership to allplayswin.com one of these days.
It's an investment, Pete. It's an investment.
Yeah, I need to start turning things around. All right, Detroit at Cleveland is the first game that you chose to talk about this week. A little bit interesting that you chose this game. Cleveland, a 2.5-point home underdog. Totals 45.5. It opened at 45. And Cleveland, of course, they are off the long week, but now Brandon Whedon's back at quarterback. Lions coming off of their single-digit scoring loss at Green Bay, where Calvin Johnson was out. Is he going to be back for this game? I think he probably will be, because he was questionable for last game. Green Bay was able to stuff Reggie Bush for the most part. This is a tough one. I'm looking at this. I think people are thinking that since Whedon played pretty well, when he came in last week, that he's going to have a good game again here, and maybe he will. But I'm seeing some stats where he's still taking a long time getting rid of the ball. He just doesn't really have that kind of quarterbacking it factor, as people are talking about, that you really need to pull out wins in the NFL. Then again, would I want to go on Detroit with Cleveland at home off a long week as an underdog? I'm not exactly sure. What do you like here, Troy?
This is an interesting game, but I am going to roll with the Detroit Lions to finally get a big win on the road under Jim Schwartz. It's been a long time for this team. They are so due. And I think, you looked at them 2 weeks ago. They looked fantastic against the Bears. Then came out Green Bay, a place they historically don't play well, but they played without their best receiver. This team's dramatically different with Calvin Johnson.
Sure.
I'm reading reports. I believe he is going to play. I think this team is dramatically different on offense when he does play. I think the loss to Hoyer really kills Cleveland. I do. Yeah. I think this team rallied around Hoyer, and now that he's gone, I just don't think they're the same team. I know Whedon originally, had the saddle for this team, but I think they really rallied around him, and with the loss to Hoyer, I'm not buying the Browns quite yet. I think Detroit's the more talented team going into this game, and I like them to get it done this time. Typically I wouldn't go against Cleveland. They have been kind of the roller coaster hot team under the radar a little bit, but I'm going to go Detroit Lions to get it done, the better team. I think they're the better coach team as well, more veterans. Got to go with Detroit to get it done this time.
Yeah,
Pete.
I just saw this stat that Hoyer was getting rid of the ball in under 3 seconds. Whedon is still taking over 4 seconds to get rid of the ball, and that's just killer in the NFL.
I would agree. Great stats, Pete. And it's even more, like I said, the Detroit defense to me is playing pretty well. They kept Aaron Rodgers in check in Lambeau for most of that game. So I'm not too concerned about the defense being able to hold. And I do think their offense finally gets it together, as they did. They put up over 40-plus points on the Bears 2 weeks ago when Megatron was playing. So with this guy, totally different team. It opens up a lot more options with Reggie Bush, and Stafford's a much better quarterback when he's got him. So
I got to agree with you. I have to think that Whedon at some point will give the game away to Detroit. All right, thanks so much, Troy.